Welcome back to the Totally Magic channel. If you haven't been here before, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, share, all the other usual things. It really helps us out as a small YouTube channel. We always deal in card tricks, and this is no exception to that, because what we got here is a deck of cards. We'll just give these a quick shuffle just to make sure that they're thoroughly mixed up, and you can see that they are just 52 regular cards. I know what you're doing. You're looking here and you're thinking, what are those? Well, they are a magician's prediction. You see, I've predicted 2 playing cards, but I'm not going to show you just yet because it may influence what you're about to do. But I want 2 people to help me today, and you're both going to make a selection, but I want it to be truly random selection. Now, although we've shuffled the cards, what I'd like you to do is, first of all, you, sir, can you choose anywhere to cut the pack? Here, just here, you want to cut there. Are you sure that that's where you want to cut the pack? Now, there's a reason for this, is because I want you to have a random choice of any 2 cards to denote a chosen card position. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look. Well, you've got an 8, and a 9. So that's 17. Yeah, that's a number 17 that you've got there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There is your card, the Queen of Spades. Yeah, and I think you'll agree that's quite a randomized way of finding a card. Yeah, let's come to you, sir. You again, just touch where you want to stop. Here, you want to stop on this one here. We'll cut the cards and we'll take 2 cards and have a look. A 6 and a 4, that's 10. So position number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got an ace of diamonds. Beats the Queen. But there you've got a random choice of cards. Now remember, you could have had any 2 cards from the pack. You could have had a king and a jack, which would have given you a very high value. You could have had any of these. You could have had an ace and a 2, which would have been 3. So a totally random way of picking 2 cards. A queen and an ace. There's your 2 choices. Remember my premonitions here. My 2 cards. They are the perfect match. So here's the secret to this trick. 2 things. First of all, it's a self-worker. However, it does require a stack. I know some people don't like stacked decks, but I do. I always like to start off a performance with a stacked deck, because it's a regular deck. Once you've performed the trick, you can shuffle the cards and carry on with some other tricks that you want to perform. So it is a stacked deck. And what I'm going to do is show you exactly what you need to do. First of all, let me just bring in another deck of cards. So here is the stack. I will put it in the description below, but let me just go through. You need to remove 2 kings, 2 aces, 2 queens. So let's get 2 kings, 2 aces and 2 queens. Now it doesn't matter what they are. 2 kings, 2 queens, 2 aces. Now this particular trick, by the way, is one that comes from 1951. It was featured in the Abra magazine. I can't remember the name of the person, but I'll put it up on the screen, who came up with this. So it's not mine. I've made a few changes to it, but the actual stack is from a published trick from 1951. So let me just get into this. So you remove any 2 kings, 2 queens and 2 aces. Now from these cards you got to pick out your 2 predictions. Don't pick out the 2 aces. Try and pick one of each, maybe a king and an ace. But I'll pick what I picked before, the ace and the queen. Okay, so these are going to be my prediction cards. Okay, now what you would normally do when you're performing this, you can just write it down on a piece of paper at the start or anything like that. You don't have to have cards like I did. You can just write down the ace of diamonds, queen of spades as your predicted cards. Now the stack. By the way, the remaining ones I tend to mix up just so they're different. By the way, these are going to be used purely as spacers. They got nothing to do with the stack. They're purely used as spacers. You then have to put the cards into a certain order. Now, luckily, I've already done that. So let me just show you here. Let me show you the stack. I place a king. By the way, the suits, we're not worried about the suits, okay? But this is going to have 26 and 26. It's the same stack repeated. So the 26 card stack is king, jack, queen, 10, jack, 9, 10, 8, 9, 7, 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, ace, 2, king, queen, ace. There's 26 cards there. Now note that on here at the bottom or the face of these are the 2 picture cards that we use as spacers and one of the false cards, in this case the ace. Those go here. Okay. You'll then notice that I've got exactly the same stack. Remember, we're not worried about the suits. If I go all the way through, this one matches these exactly. And then when we get down to here, the 3 cards on the face here are the other 2 spacer cards, the king and the ace, and then the other false cards. So note that on the face we've got the 2 false cards. That's where they've got to go. You then put these together like this. You can do cuts, you can do false shuffles, as long as you don't disturb the order of the stack. So that's pretty obvious. If you've been into magic for a while, you'll know that by cutting the cards, you don't disturb the sequence. So all you've got to do is to get these cut anywhere, like that. The next part is you're going to spread the cards. By the way, you've already put your prediction out. You get someone to separate the cards. You're basically doing a cut, all right? So say if they separate the cards there, you're going to take these and put them on top, like that. If any of you are worried, what happens if the spectator, when they make their first selection of a card, cuts between the 2 spacer cards? Remember, we got those spacer cards here. What happens if they cut to one of those? Well, we don't want them having one of those, but it's not a problem. In all the years and the hundreds of performances I've done, I've never ever spread the cards and had someone cut at those spaces. If you're someone that kind of worries about that, how do you get out of that? It's not a big issue, trust me. Let's say that if we cut the cards, if I spread the cards and someone cut here, as I cut the cards, I can just have a little peek at this card here. I see it's one of my spacer cards. As I go to put it to the bottom, I would just say to them, just be sure that I got the right place. Just cut a few more cards off. It's as simple as that. Okay, so don't worry about that. One other thing, the likelihood of this ever happening is very rare, but what happens if somebody cuts to the false cards? So when you cut the cards, as you deal the first card up, if you see it's your false card, stop at that point. Don't deal two cards and add them together. Just take that and say, you cut there, it was a free cut, that's your one. Then go on and do the second choice one. Honestly, I don't think that's ever going to happen, or the spaces, but just wanted to put that in there just to put your mind at ease. The first two cards you reveal to be a 7 and a 6, yeah, which is 14. Oh, sorry, 13. My maths isn't that good. So the 7 and the 6 comes to 13. You then deal down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now you can put it face down or face up. Look at that. How amazing is that? Whatever two cards they cut to, it'll always deal down to their or to one of the false cards. I think that's brilliant. So that's the first one. Now this is all you do. You take the remainder of the pack and put that on top. Now this is important. You don't want someone picking any of those cards that you've just dealt. So with them on top, the second person, I just ask them just to call stop at any point. I want them to stop somewhere near the top, okay? So just push them slowly across because they get bored and they'll call stop sooner than later. So just push across and just call stop, stop here. You cut the cards and you repeat exactly the same. Let's see what you've got. You've got a 9 and an 8. That's 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and it is the other false card. You can put the cards together, shuffle them, and leave them for examination. It looks clean, it's great. There's your two predictions. You reveal your predicted cards or open up your envelope with your written prediction. You play it how you want. I think this is a fantastic stack and you might come up with some other ideas for it. I will leave the order of these written below in the description, or just watch the beginning of the tutorial where I call them out. Remember, it doesn't matter about suits. All right, you're not worried about that. It's just the values. And as I said, all credit goes to Abra in 1951, and this person's name here, who I've totally forgot, I apologise, and hopefully you'll have fun with that. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.